Hi everyone, it's Ethereal Yana, aka a Rainbow's Child, and I'm here today with a long overdue video. I was supposed to do this video so long ago, so long ago. I actually did the video and I did it outside in a tree, and I didn't really like how it came out because I was nervous and like just how everything went. I didn't like it. So I decided to record it over. And then that just took forever to do over because of life and everything. But we're here now. And today's video is basically just gonna be about just some questions that I wanted to answer just in regards to me, my life, my spiritual journey, spirituality in general. Really quick video, just touching on like really basic things. I did ask my social media to, give me some questions that they would like for me to ask. That they would like for me to answer. And I got two questions. I got two questions, but that's okay because I wanted to do this video, so I took it upon myself to just, along with those two questions, to just add a couple more questions that people have been asking me, questions that I've got asked multiple times. Like, I'm just gonna give y'all the answer to those, okay? Okay. I have my questions on my handy dandy laptop. Ain't she cute? Yeah, shout out to Marcos. Yeah. Shout out to Marcos for these stickers, bro. I love him real bad. I love him real bad, but yeah, that's something else. I'm so goofy, like I don't know why I'm always laughing at myself. Okay, without further ado though, here's the questions. So we have 5 today. And the first one is, what made me go out on my own? So I'm just gonna put this over here while I answer these. Also, don't mind the noise in the back. I do live in a studio, and that is my annoying ass fridge. And it just runs on this cycle where it's annoying as fuck, and then it shuts up. So yeah. But yeah, what made me go out on my own? So basically, like, very cut and dry. Very cut and dry. I lived in a toxic household, and it wasn't like a sometimey thing or a new thing. It's been toxic forever. My entire life, that shit was. Excuse me. My entire life, that household was toxic. It was extremely detrimental to my well-being in all aspects. My mental well-being, my physical well-being, my emotional well-being, my spiritual well-being. Like, it was terrible. It wasn't fun. That shit, I need to stop cursing. I need to stop cursing, but it was really bad. And after I graduated high school, I didn't think it could get worse, but it definitely did. After I graduated high school, it got worse. And it got to the point where I could not take it anymore. I wouldn't take it anymore. I exhausted all my options. I tried everything. I tried being good. I tried being bad. I tried being invisible. I tried being present. I tried everything. and nothing worked. And I was just continually on the worst end of the stick for everything, and it just was not good. Like, I woke up every day hating where I was in life, and just in general, like, I didn't want to be in that house. And it was just really, really bad. It was very toxic for me and very draining, and I just felt like I couldn't get anything done. Like, I was more prone to doing what would you say? I was more prone to doing self-harming acts, like drinking excessively, smoking excessively, putting myself in situations that I had no business being in, just to feel something, just to basically feed off of this chaotic energy that I was already getting at home. You know, so it just kind of, that energy just kind of took over everything that I did, and it became everything that I was for a while, like a long while. But then I just got to my wit's end, and then I got introduced to spirituality, and that's when I really was just like, yeah, I need to change what I'm doing. I need to change who I am. Something gotta give. And I left. I got into a situation with my mom, and we had an argument, and long story short, she took me to get out. It's like, I can laugh at it now that I'm so far removed from it, but yeah, I had an argument with my mom. She told me to get out, and I wanted to leave anyway, so I was like, bye, and I left. She said, by the end of the month, I want you going. And guess what? By the end of the month, I was out of there. I was gone. Like, I had no choice, but it was my choice. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. But yeah, that's why I decided to go out on my own. And also just because I've always been a really independent person. I've always, thought for myself, spoke my mind since I was younger. But growing up, a lot of people don't like people who have a strong sense of self, who knows what they want, who speak their mind, who just has that self-assured personality. And having that so young, a lot of adults didn't like it. So I was knocked down a lot in life, like too many times to count. And it's like, throughout my life, my biggest bullies have been adults. Like, it's never been people my age, It's always been someone who should know better, someone who did know better. And because they knew better, they tried and they did. They used their authority and their status, their age, whatever the case may be, to kind of put me in my place. And it worked when I was younger, but then as I got older and more in my teen years, that wasn't flying with me. And then I started, behaving more erratically and like flying off the handle a lot more. And it was just like, I just craved independence. I wanted to be away. I love doing things on my own, and I just wanted to be away from people controlling me. I just wanted to be away from all that. So yeah, I was outie 5,000, and I left. Let's see. Number 2, how I got started on my spiritual journey. So, back to me being introduced to spirituality. I actually got introduced to spirituality from my best friend at the time when I did live back home, well, back in my home state. Um, I forget honestly how it all came about. I feel like it was so long ago. It was 3 years ago now. Actually, February is my 3 year anniversary for when I started my spiritual journey. So let's get a round of applause for that. Happy 3 years to me. But yeah, so yeah, around February 2020, the same year I left home, I forget honestly. Now, a few years prior, like I've always been into the more darker side of life, if you will. I swore I was a magician when I was young. I swore I was a magician. I swore I could cast spells. Like all of that always fascinated me. When I was in the like 8th grade, I want to say, I started practicing meditating and like trying to open my third eye, which I did without even knowing, because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was looking for. I didn't know what it would feel like. I didn't know anything. I was just doing stuff just to do it, right? So yeah, but then all that died down, you know, I got depressed and like you just stopped doing things that interest you. So all that died down, I forgot about it, and then fast forward a few years later, my best friend at the time, I forget. All I know is it has something to do with Twitter. Twitter and YouTube videos, right? So, I didn't have a Twitter at the time. I'm not a huge social media person. So I wasn't even bothered with Twitter. Like Instagram and Facebook was enough for me. But my best friend at the time, she was just like, you know, like get on Twitter. Like she just kept sending me things from Twitter. So I downloaded Twitter. She taught me how to use it. And I started following all these spiritual pages. And we used to do this thing where we would watch the same video and we would watch the same video, and like if we had the same pile, if we had different piles, whatever, which a lot of the time we did have the same piles because that's a different story. A lot of the time we did have the same piles, and then we would just, you know, like talk about it, get feedback, how we felt, what we needed to do, what we would do, things like that, right? That was our relationship. So, yeah, all in all, my ex-best friend, she was the one who actually introduced me to spirituality. I began meditating a lot more. Again, watching a shit ton of pick a cards and a lot of daily messages and stuff like that. Like it was what you shouldn't do in spirituality, but I feel like it's an important step for everybody starting their spiritual journey, so that you kind of know what not to do, what it shouldn't be like, what it shouldn't feel like, you know. Around the same time, I got an aura reading from someone on Twitter. I forgot who it was, but I got an aura reading, and basically my aura reading, like it showed me, and then it showed like, you know, my aura, duh. Sorry, bear with me, I'm trying to explain it. And basically what it was is, I believe that I had a yellow aura, maybe, if I remember correctly. If I find the picture, then I'll put it, you know, somewhere in here. but I had yellow, I believe, and then it was like parasites outside of the initial like yellow ring. And what the lady explained to me was that like I just had too many parasites within my aura field. Like I had too many energies, too many people like feeding off my energy, disrupting my energy, and just causing trouble to my spiritual well-being. And when I got that, everything clicked. I was like, oh no, I need to get the fuck out of here. Like from that moment forward, I was like, I need to do everything that I can to separate myself from these people, these parasites, these energies. I don't want to live like this, and I don't want this in my aura. You know, I didn't know how to, at the time, I didn't know anything about protecting myself. I didn't know anything about anything. Basically, I didn't know anything about anything. But from that moment forward, it was very like tunnel vision on my spiritual journey. Yeah. Question number 3. Is it weird to live alone / independently? This question, I really feel like it depends on who you ask. Because, you know, a lot of people feel different ways about being alone and things like that. But me? No. No. Like I said before, I am a very independent person. I always have been. So me living alone / independently, well, okay. First of all, those are two different things. So let's start with the living alone. Is it weird to live alone? No, but you feel let me speak for me. No, but I feel the difference, you know? So when I lived back home, I was always alone regardless, but I was surrounded by people, if that makes sense. So I always felt alone, but I was surrounded by people. So me actually living alone is just me having an extreme peace of mind now, you know, like it's being alone, but in a more peaceful way. Being alone without all that disruptive energy, all the negative influences. Like it's truly being able to get a peace of mind by yourself. You know, it's being able to do what you want to do. If you don't feel like talking, you don't gotta talk to nobody. If I wanted to wake up and eat a can of whipped cream for breakfast, I could. You know why? Because I live alone. And ain't nobody here to say anything about it. You feel me? To simply put it, I will say when you live alone, you just have this, you have ultimate freedom. You have freedom to do what you want to do. You have freedom to be what you want to be who you want to be, and no one can say anything to you. I feel like everyone should experience living by themselves at least one point in their lives, because when you live alone, there's no disruption between you and your true self. You know, you don't have to fake it for anybody. You don't have to mask. You don't have to do what other people tell you to. You don't have to conform. You can just be yourself in your own space unapologetically all the time. And I feel like being in that state for an extended period of time, it'll start to incorporate outwardly, you know, into more areas of your life, and then you'll be your unapologetic self naturally, because you've spent so much time inwardly being your true self, you know. Yeah, so that's that. No, I love living alone. I love living alone. I will say though, and as you get older, as you get into adulthood, it's not as much community anymore. So it's definitely harder making and maintaining friendships. Yeah, so that's one of the downsides. Like, it definitely does get lonely, but I'm so comfortable with myself. Like, it took me some time. As much as I wanted to live by myself and be completely removed from everybody and all this, like, it definitely did hit hard when I was like, damn, like, I'm actually alone. Like, whoa, like, I have to do everything by myself now. Like, I can't call such and such to, let's go outside, let's go to the park. Oh, hey, you want to go here? Let's go to the movies. Let's do this, let's do this, let's do that. I didn't have anybody. I don't have anybody to call on and do that with anymore. And so I had to learn how to really, really be comfortable with myself in order to go out and still live my life, you know, not having people with me stop me from doing whatever I wanted to do. And that was hard. So, me, man, I be having a ball by myself. Like, I be having a ball by myself. I be everywhere and then some. Like, it's just, I'm getting off topic though. Yeah, so living alone, it's great for me because I always wanted my personal space, like my personal uninterrupted space. It does get lonely sometimes when you don't have a friend group or you don't have a set friend or anything, but when you're comfortable with yourself and you have that foundation of happiness and sureness within yourself, it doesn't last long. Like, it's like a fleeting moment. You're just like, damn, I really wish I had somebody with me right now. But then you're like, okay, like, I'm cool though. Like, it'll come when it comes. I still enjoy my own company. You feel me? Living independently, man, that is... What was the question? I just be rambling. Okay, is it weird to live independently? So for me, again, independently, it's not weird because I kind of already had a jump start to living independently. Living independently to me means like doing everything for yourself. So you're paying your own bills, you're buying your own clothes, groceries, necessities, all that. Like, you're your own sole provider, right? And that's pretty much what I was doing for a while before I left home. And then when I started working, there was more emphasis being put on like me getting my own school clothes and shoes and stuff like that. So it kind of trickled in early, and then by the time I graduated high school, it was like full-fledged, like, you on your own type, right? So yeah, no, living independently is not, like, granted, at the time I wasn't paying my own bills yet. Like, as far as like apartment or anything, but I was buying my own food, I was buying my own clothes when I had the money, I was paying my own phone bill, all my necessities, like all that, I was buying it, right? So living independently now, mind you, when I first left, I wasn't completely independent until maybe a year after I first left, 2020. I stayed with family twice before I was completely independent. Neither times worked out. Neither times was what I expected it to be. I thought it was gonna be. Like, I got there and I'm like, I'll finally be able to get some breathing room, be independent. But at the same time, I was young, you know, I did make mistakes, but it was also that element of control was still there. and I hated it. I hated it so bad. So it led to a lot of disagreements because, again, that people like to control me in guise of, I'm trying to help you, aka do what I tell you to do what I want you to do, because I think that it's what's best for you. I know what's best for me. You don't. Thank you though. But yeah, no. I already had a jump start to paying my own stuff before I left home. The only thing that really got me was like rent. Baby, let me tell you about rent. You know, as much as like living at home was hell and all that, I didn't have to pay rent, right? Like I wasn't okay with it, but like it was a bit more lenient if I didn't have money in my pockets. I still had a roof over my head. You feel me? I still had some kind of food in my, like some kind of food to eat, right? No. When I was fully independent, October 2021, bro. No, September 2021. I had to make sure I kept a job so that I could pay my phone bill. Let me pause right there real quick. One thing about me, my phone is habitually, is that the word? I hope that's the word. I hope that's the word. My phone is consistently off. It's consistently off. And I'm not embarrassed to say that, because for me, it's nothing to be embarrassed about. Like for me, it's like, I don't talk to anybody. You feel me? Like I have an iPhone and everybody and their grandmother got an iPhone. So as long as I got Wi-Fi or a connection somewhere, you can still get in touch with me. So I just feel like it's no reason for me to have my phone on if I don't use it. You feel me? You can text me, you can call me, or you can FaceTime me, even FaceTime audio. Like if you needed to get in contact with me, you still could, and my phone doesn't have to be on. So my phone is literally like 90% of the time my phone is off, and I don't care. It's very peaceful. And my phone lives on Do Not Disturb. Since I got my phone, it has been on Do Not Disturb. I don't play about my peace, bro. I do not play about my peace. But back to what I was saying. Phone bills, when I do pay it. Groceries, I had to make sure I was budgeting correctly so that I'd have enough money for rent. I could pay my rent on time, which I've been good with it, but that's something I still struggle with. Like, that's something I still struggle with. But my bills get paid though, and I feed myself, and I buy my necessities and all that, and it's good. It's good. So, all in all, is it weird to live alone / independently? No, not for me at least. There will be some struggles, there will be some hiccups, some hard times, but as with everything, you know, it comes with life, and you just gotta deal with it the best way you know how to. And that's all I do, for real. So I love it. I love it. I wouldn't give it up for anything, actually. Best place to live. I can't tell you. I can't tell you the best place to live because I haven't encountered the best place to live. I lived in a few states now, and none of them has been the state for me, you know? Like, this question is another question that depends on the person, because it depends on the person likes and dislikes, what they're looking for within where they're living. You know, like weather, environment, community, like all that is factors that goes into live. Like, the perfect place for me would be a combination of good food, community, and how do I good food, community, and a good mix of nature. Like, I need outdoorsy spots that I could go sit in, like parks and stuff, right? Yeah, so good food that is easily, oh, and it gotta be accessible. Like, I need to be able to get where I'm going by walking, bus, or train. And I'm not taking more than 2 buses anywhere. I'm not walking more than 20 minutes anywhere. Like, that is not it. It's not it. Like, I don't drive. And I'm not ashamed to say that either. I don't care. I don't drive. In the city that I live in, I don't want to drive. The shit sucks bad. Nobody can drive here. But yeah, it has to have a mix of a couple things. Like, it has to have good food. And it can't be dumb expensive either. I mean, I'll spend some good money on food, but that's not what we're talking about right now. It has to have good food because I love to eat and I love food. Community in the sense of, like, community in the sense of it doesn't feel off. Like, I don't feel out of place. I don't feel like I don't belong. Like, I could go outside and I could see people that look like me. I can see different aesthetics on people. Like, I'm not one for that, like, how do I say this? I'm not one for that, like community mindset where, like, everyone thinks the same, everyone dresses the same, everyone acts the same. I don't like that. I need individuality. I need to feel like I can belong, right? And I don't even gotta belong to a group. I can belong individually. You feel me? So yeah, it has to have that. Like, I don't want to walk outside and feel out of place. You know, I don't want to have that, like, cloud hanging over me that, like, I don't belong here. You feel me? And outdoorsy places, like I said, I need to be able to get out the house, go somewhere in nature, sit down, mind my business, and just chill out for a little bit. Like, I don't like being in cities where there's no, like, it's just all city. There's no outdoorsiness. Like, I need fresh fucking air. I need fresh air. And accessibility. I will say, though, that, like, of the places I lived, I would say California is definitely closest to the best place to live for me, because the weather was perfect. It wasn't too hot, wasn't too cold, at least in the area that I lived in. The food was so good. The food was amazing. The food was great. Oh my God. If I could just have some Cali tacos one more time. What's one of the biggest lessons I've learned so far? All right, real cliche, right? real cliche. But one of the biggest lessons that I've learned so far is you can literally do anything you put your mind to. Like, real cliche, I know. I don't even want to hear it though. Because if you think about it, it's actually true. Like before I set out and did everything that I did over the past couple years, all the times I moved, all the things I've been through, I've overcame, I wouldn't have thought I could do any of it. I didn't think that I can do any of it. If I'm being 100% honest, 100% transparent, I didn't think that I would be able to do any of it, right? Not without help, at least. If you told me 3 years ago, before I started out on this journey, that I'd be where I am now, I would laugh at you. Because like, if you told me, if I knew everything that I've been through in that short time span, I'm not gonna lie, I probably wouldn't even left. Like, because I wouldn't believe that. I wouldn't be able to conceptualize me being in these positions and getting myself out of these positions. Like, it really just comes down to a matter of believing in yourself and really, I would say, really channeling that inner strength. You feel me? Like, a lot of people don't really understand how deep their inner strength goes. Like, they really look at it shallowly, like really surface level. Like, anytime something hard comes up, it's just like, and myself included, you know, I'm not excluded from this. Anytime something hard comes up, or you think about how much work something is gonna be, you're like, I don't know if I could do it, and you like shy away from it, you put it off because you doubt yourself. But then when you don't have a choice, and a lot of the times I did not have a choice, I just had to I just had to do what I had to do. No matter how I got it done, I had to do it. And I didn't know how I was gonna do it. I didn't know where, what, when, but I used my resources and I stuck to it and I got it done. And a lot of people can do this, but they feel like they need external validation, or they need someone to do it with them. Like, they're scared to do it alone. You're gonna have to. If you one thing I learned also is, if you want to make it anywhere, you can't depend on everybody to come with you. You feel me? Especially if you want to make it along your own specific path, you can't depend on other people to come with you. I don't care how long you knew such and such. I don't care how close you and such family member is. It don't matter. Like, what's meant for you is not meant for everybody else. So you can progress along your path, but as long as you try to drag everybody else with you, bring everybody else with you, you're going to keep running into delays, and you're going to keep hitting bumps in the road because they're not meant to come with you. And you're relying on other people to give you that strength and confidence that you need to conjure up yourself to get yourself moving and push yourself forward. And that's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. And I had to learn that the hard way, okay? It wasn't fun, but I'm happy that I know everything that I know now, and I'm happy that I went through. I wouldn't say happy, but I'm grateful that I went through everything that I went through, because it's given me a lot of inner strength. It's given me a lot of confidence in myself and my abilities, what I can do. It's given me knowledge on what I absolutely can't do, which is not much. And I know that now. But I wouldn't have known that if it wasn't for going through what I went through to get to where I am now. You feel me? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? So yeah, literally, you can do anything you put your mind to. Anything. It don't matter how long it's gonna take. It don't matter what progress you're seeing. Especially on a spiritual journey, you're not gonna see a lot of the results manifest in the physical, at least not immediately, right? A lot of it is walk by faith, not by sight, because you could be making immense progress spiritually. You know, you could be leaping ahead past obstacles and things like that, but it won't look or feel like it in your physical reality, in the 3D reality. And you'll think you'll think that you're failing, you'll think that you're not good enough and that you're not doing enough. You push yourself harder when in all actuality, you're doing more than what you need to be doing, and you're doing an amazing job, but you're not believing in yourself and you're not trusting in yourself to know and understand that you're doing the best you can. Fuck the best you can. You're doing better than your best, and you're headed in the right direction. You're gonna obtain what you want to obtain. You just need to really trust that what you want will be yours. I hope that made sense. I feel like I just said a lot and nothing at the same time, but yeah, that's all I have too. That's all I have. This is a lot longer than I thought it was gonna be, but I guess I had a lot to get off my chest this time around. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope that my answers gave you some insight into me, my life, my journey. Comment down below what else you'd like to see, any other questions that you have, anything you would like me to touch on more in depth, more, I don't know. Yeah. I guess this is the part where I say like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, we outie 5,000. Peace out, Cub Scout. Bye.